Chapter 5. And the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it unto the house of Dagon, and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon, and set him in his place again. And when they arose early on the morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord, and the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of Dagon was left to him. Therefore neither the priests of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them, and smote them with emerods, even Ashdod and the coast thereof. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, The ark of the God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand is sore upon us, and upon Dagon our God. They sent therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, What shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel? And they answered, Let the ark of the God of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of the God of Israel about thither. And it was so, that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Lord was against the city with a very great destruction. And he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had emerods in their secret parts. Therefore they sent the ark of the God to Ekron. And it came to pass, as the ark of the God came to Ekron, that the Ekronites cried out, saying, They have brought about the ark of the God of Israel to us, to slay us and our people. So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines, and said, Send away the ark of the God of Israel, and let it go again to his own place, that it slay us not and our people. For there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city, and the hand of God was very heavy there. And the men that died were smitten with the emerods, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. The chief god of the Philistines' name was Dagon, and he was supposed to be the god of fertility and other sorts of things. It sort of changed over time. Dagon was also worshipped to some extent, at least, by the general Canaanite population. He's often shown as having the head of a man, the hands of a man, and the bottom half of a fish, but we don't think that's really actually how he was represented in the statues. We think that comes about because of the Hebrew word that dag, D-A-G, which means fish, and not quite sure what that is reference to, but don't think it was a half-man, half-fish god. However, Dagon was considered to be the father of Baal, and Baal was a god that had human sacrifices offered to it. We know that Dagon had sacrifices offered to him, but we're not sure if they included human sacrifices or not. The idea of the emerods always is interesting to people. The actual literal translation of the word from the Hebrew means inflamed tumors. But Josephus uses a different description. He describes it as a very serious, potentially fatal disease involving dysentery and bleeding and severe vomiting. And also, when they were sending the ark back to Israel, they included 5 representations of gold in the shape of the emerods and 5 mice. The indication would be that perhaps there were mice involved, and if there were mice involved, mice and rats are carriers of bubonic plague, which can have a 70% death rate in the first week, and can have very serious inflammation of parts of the groin, which would indicate, which would really relate to the secret parts of the people that had it. And obviously this was severe enough that the people in the cities of the Philistines didn't want to have this ark show up and bring death with it, so they were not too happy. They decided that it might be smarter to send it back.